Hi everyone, thanks for stopping by. So I wanted to share with you what we've been doing to get better soil here on the property. So I've been using a cover crop mixture this year. I added a Kentucky 31 tall fescue, a crimson clover that's Oregon grown, and an Oregon grown ryegrass. The year previous to this I only did the ryegrass and the crimson clover, and this is the update. This is what things are looking like. In a couple of the other videos I made a joke about needing your lawnmower to be tuned up, but come to find out I was not remembering things quite properly, and I haven't actually cut this since I've planted it, and this is about the height that I have right now. I'm getting real close to needing to cut it, and I wanted to share with you also some tips on cutting turf grasses and things. Of course, the crimson clover isn't a turf grass, but my wife and I have been studying to become master gardeners in our state. And there's some information that they shared with us this week that I'd like to share with you about tips on the turf grasses and things. And so we'll get to that in just a moment, and I'm going to kind of show you what things look like and about where they're at now. So this year I'm going to try to keep the clover cut back a little bit more, not let it grow so tall, and see if I can get it to flower at a lower height, so that those bees back there in the background will have plenty to eat come April. So here you can see the difference between a yard that's using cover crops to help to build the soil and one that's not. Those bushes mark my property line. So you can definitely see the merits of what we're doing here. The crimson clover is a nitrogen fixer. It's helping to pull nitrogen out of the air and put it into the soil. And then when this starts to grow wildly again in the spring, as it did last year, we'll be taking those grass clippings that the grass has been pulling carbon out of the air, and then that will decay and go back into our soil as well. So here we have the front yard, and you can see the clover starting to grow quite a bit more. It's getting a lot taller, and it's getting to that point where I'm going to need to cut it. So I promise you some of that information that we were learning from the Master Gardener courses. And so whenever you're dealing with turf grasses, you want to make sure that you don't cut off more than 1/3 the height of whatever it is that you're growing there. So if you've got something that's 3 inches and you're trying to keep it at 2 inches, then you only want to be able to cut off 1 inch there at that time, so as not to do harm to the grass.